What's up? That's how we take a shower on the weekend when we're at the dirt track. We just get near a water truck and let them blast us. But we're here for night 2 with the USCS sprint cars, and I am not wearing the same shirt, I promise. This one's an extra large. Fun fact, I designed these shirts a few years ago with this old car design. Not as fun fact, this was Dad's shirt. I drug it out of his closet and figured if anybody was going to wear it, it'd be me one day. And taking full advantage of wearing the same shirt but 2 different sizes. Last night was a large, tonight's an extra large. It's a little bit better. It's more of a crew chief size, you know what I mean? I can grow into this one. But last night was good. Track actually had way more moisture than we thought it would be. Georgia track's real notorious for getting real dusty, real hard pack, real slick, eating through tires. And it was not that. It's like the moisture came back up through. Like, it had a slick spot early in the night and it kind of went away, and we had to, you know, burn it back in later in the night. But we made adjustments all night long. Mark ended up in victory lane. I'd like to say I had a good part of that, but he did the driving. He did some pretty slim margin moves to get him where he needed to be, and it worked. So it's cool to help somebody, and you don't feel bad putting in effort and doing a bunch of stuff when they go out there and they give you 100%. That's what I try to do for my guys, and I'm helping him because I know he'll do it for sure. But we just got kicked out of the pits, and we are waiting. Look, Mark, turn around, act like you're happy. That'll be the photo for the beginning. But they just kicked us out of the pits, and once everybody's out, they're gonna let everybody go back in. He's did his engine maintenance. We've grinded tires. We've kind of looked at our notes from last night. And, you know, now we kind of just sit. You know, this isn't like pavement racing. Them guys go out there and practice because the track is pretty much like always ready for them. And, you know, the track temperature changed a little bit, but, you know, if you got certain temperatures in certain classes, like the track's going to kind of be the same. The groove's usually going to be the same. It's not really going to change. Well, last night was right around the tires and heavy, and tonight could be dusty on the bottom and heavy on the top. Like right now they watered the top 3 lanes and they're running it in, but they didn't water the bottom. So that shows that they probably want to have a little bit wider racetrack tonight, and that would be better for the fans, honestly. And it's a Saturday night. They're expecting a pretty big crowd. They ran a bunch of heat races for their other stuff last night, and I think it's gonna be all right. Beautiful facility. Talked to the owner last night. We want to see if we can get some more shows here. And I don't know. I think this is a perfect ending for the USCS season. And but this place deserves to have some more sprint car racing. It looks like it could really put on some good racing, and the way the dirt handled the moisture and everything last night, it looks like it could be a really racy track. So hopefully it is. What do you think, Mark? Hopefully the top comes in. A man of many words. I've never ordered a steak from a racetrack, but we're going to try that out. But check out this place. It's pretty nice. Got plenty of room here for merchandise. They got the track merchandise over there, which is like a old Daytona Speedway thing. Got a nice playground set for kids. Got the smoker and everything going back there. That's where my steak's coming from. Very, very nice facility here. Only time will tell. Time for motor heat here. Mark's getting in, sun's going down. Not bad.
feature event win of the season.
That is correct. Eric has been running with us.
Not too bad, Swainsboro. We didn't burn off a single set of tires this weekend. Good job. And a beautiful track tonight. P2 for the driver tonight, and we made all the adjustments to pretty much put it how we had it yesterday getting to the track. So track definitely slickened up and widened up tonight. I think it put on a pretty good show, even with the amount of cars they had here. Passing was a little bit in the back of the pack. The front two kind of went 1-2 and separated from each other and kind of yo-yoed, but it was never really anything close. But the MRR Racing 83, Moss Racing engines, Triple X, Blood Lubricants, 8740 suspension, and King Racing products. It's been 2-1-2 in its last 3 races, so not too bad. Looks like this thing could use some names on it. As you see, there's really no real sponsors on this car. It's just product sponsors. All the product stuff, he buys all that stuff. He just gets a little bit of a discount from the bottom 3 and the top left, and then he pays full price for Drew, but that's just customer service. It's a 3-person deal here. It's Mark, Amanda, and Big Mark, and they do a lot, man. They do a lot with a little, and it's awesome helping him because you know that he's gonna lay it all out there, whether he wrecks it or not. And actually, this car is the car that me and him got in a wreck with at Extreme, and he's got another chassis, new to him, but it's used, the same 2015 Triple X that this is, and he had to porter power this chassis out. I don't think I can get flash on. There we go. It was bent so bad here, and you can see his motor plate's bent. We actually had to put a tire right there. That's hot. We had to put a tire there at Talladega because it bent his motor plate so bad that it was leaking water there, so we cut a sidewall out of a tire, put it there. But he wasn't able to make it to Volusia because he was waiting on his new car to get there, and then his new car still wasn't shipped by Dad's race, and he's like, I am not missing that race. So he pulled the motor out of here, porter powered it back, and I think they just put a heat on it and it kind of relaxed itself back. They didn't have to do too much, and then they threw a little weld on it where the chassis was cracked, and he's like, it's good enough. And then on Thursday his car finally showed up, you know, but they were loaded up Thursday, ready to go Friday. So not too bad, not too bad. Now we got Sloppy Joe's to eat in here before we hit the road. It's got the shocks off, travel bars are on it, wings down. I take the air filter and bleeder back to Lance. We had to borrow some stuff from him because it ripped a hole in the air filter last night because it sucked it down on top of the stacks. So all good to go. What do you think, Mark? We do all right?
We did good.
Good weekend? All right. So, man, it's kind of hard to be upset with a 2-1-2, you know what I mean? So he was first and second this week, and that's pretty good. And the guy that beat him was running second to him last night. So it's them 2 guys are definitely class of the field at Swainsboro this weekend. And then 3rd place to like 7th place was a pretty mixed bag of drivers there. So, all right, guys, see ya when we race at Hendry County in a couple weeks, and we'll be racing against these guys. So wish us luck.